part 2 of 12 seconds for 2K. Last time round we fitted the turbo up, oil feed line and the intake on it. This time round we are going to fit up the intercooler, some suspension in it, some brakes, make it safe. Probably pull the auto out of it so we can put an AU one in it, but while we're there we might just rip the engine out so we can do the oil return line properly. Valve springs and head studs, make it a bit easier to do while we're there. Last time round we swapped the BA turbo manifold I had that I said we're going to use just for this FG one, because we had the FG turbo with the external gate already and the oil return line to suit that. We thought it would just be easier to use this one instead of fighting it later, so I basically just swapped that over. So let's get stuck into it. Turns out that was the shocker that was in there holding it up. Nice. Just had a fair old hit in the front before deciding if we're going to try to squeeze the intercooler in there or we're just going to hack the front off yet. It's not going back on the road again, so it doesn't really matter, but yeah, bit rough in there. Rightio, so we went through what cooler piping we had laying around, and because of this home jobby plenum and stuff like that, it's not really going to fit up, so we made some sort of majestic work here. Cut a square out in there, so it looks like that side's going to work, just has clearance on the bonnet, and once we clock the turbo, this side's going to work as well. Some home jobby mounts, we don't want to buy any mounts. The cooler, that should get it sorted. Box is out. I think it took Greg all of 20 minutes, if that. I didn't even finish wiring a manual controller I was trying to do, and this is out. Yeah, get it on the ground. Probably use this in something else one day, I don't know. Then motor out after that. Put that on a stand. Should be good. So engine's out, time to pull this rocker cover off and have a look how gross it looks on the inside. So actually that's not too bad considering 330,000 K motor, I think, BA motor. Oh, I've seen a hell of a lot worse than that. You reckon you'll see 20 pounds of boost? So Greg's done the head studs, now he's on to valve springs. He's stuck doing that. He loves doing valve springs, it's his favourite job.
It's the best job ever.
Yep. So get them done, then we'll pull the sump off and do the oil return line like we want to. And get the motor back in the car. Get ready to
Chop some LS's.
Chop some LS's, throw some decent boost at it, see what happens. So, valve springs are done, head studs are done. We finished the oil return, so we drilled the sump, took that off, did all that. Put the new oil return on and the water return and feed stuff's all there. We're going to drop the motor back in, get it all in place and then finish plumbing up the intercooler completely. So that's all done and go from there. And we'll get on to the next bit.
Not stopping.
You're still going.
Start going back.
What's the manifold on your side, Greg?
No.
Just because how tight it is.
My side's going in.
Whatever you do.
So I thought we'll lay out the budget and show everyone where we're at. So the dump pipe we got for it was $50. 50. Cooler piping, $150. Oh no, that was the actual cooler itself. It was $150 off Scooter. The intercooler piping for it was just second-hand stuff, laying around old stuff. It was all got a couple of big dings from when somebody dinged it into a trailer. So it's probably only worth about $50. We're trying to be realistic here too on what stuff is worth on marketplace as well as what we actually paid for it too. Some things we had laying around, some things we didn't. The intake manifold, we paid $100 for it. It's a home jobby plasma man wannabe thing. Hopefully it holds together with some boost. I don't know. It was only $100, so we will trial it and see what happens. If it blows up on the dyno or explodes, then we'll have to revisit the manifold then. Next was the exhaust manifold. I did say we had the $100 BA manifold on there. Most people didn't really pick it, some probably did, that we ended up using an FG one. I did trade it for an FG one I had here sitting on the shelf because the dumps to suit an FG, the external gate kit was to suit FG, the oil return line was all to suit FG. I had that stuff sitting here, so I thought it would just be easier. I'll use that and we'll use the BA one on something else. So I'm still counting that as $100 for now. Where I know we should be under budget anyway, so if people get pissy about that, we'll bump that up. The turbo and wastegate is second-hand stuff I had here. Cracked rear housing, has shaft play. It's probably $400 for what it is for the old 3584. So that's going off marketplace prices. It is one I had on my old car when I got it. We got donated some head studs. Speaking of that, it was missing one nut. It had the small washers as well on it, which not really recommended, but we're using it anyway. So they were given to us, but we're saying they're second hand. They've been reused a couple of times. We are going to count them as probably still worth $50 or something to someone. I usually don't reuse them after a while, and I usually like to use all new stuff, so just because this is budget, this isn't usually how we do things, but it's what we're doing for this because we're going to send it and see what happens. We got fuel pump, second hand, 525 fuel pump. Hopefully it's good. We'll find out. It's been sitting for a while. $100. They're usually $200 new, so saying $100 second hand should be alright. Got some diff gears. 3 7s, hopefully we get them in time because we still haven't done that. It'll probably be on the next video. They're 373 I think. We're going to count them as about $100 worth because it's seen some stuff. Bearings have been cooked on there. We've got to press some stuff on there. Sort that out later. Hopefully we can use them. So I'm saying they're $100 off marketplace stuff. The oil and water lines. We had them here, they're second hand. They're usually $150 or something new, so we're saying they're $80. And what else we got? Manual controller. So we are putting in AU Auto, we're just swapping it out for the BA BDR that was in it. There's no real actual cost to that because it had a good working trans in it. And the other ones are good working trans. The only difference is I prefer to use the AU ones and those shifters. Plus, we got donated a second-hand manual controller. They're usually only a couple $100. We're saying it's $100 for that. What else? Injectors. Missed them. We got some 1000cc injectors off Scooter as well. For $50, they've been sitting around a long time. I was just going to chuck them in. Got offered to get them cleaned. Matty Ellis is going to help us out there. Box of beer, so yeah, we'll chuck them in. He's cleaning them for us now. We'll put them in and see how it goes. So I think that's about it for the minute, including that box of beer and everything. Right now, we are at 15.10, if my math is correct. We've still got a bit left in the budget. I think some boys are donating us tyres, even though it's serviceable items and stuff like that, to keep it safe. And yeah, so that's where we're at with the budget so far. See what else we add to it, I guess.